Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia. We are on the verge of declaring war against Austria for these three territories: Krain, Gorz, and Trieste. This is all part of Carniola, which is largely parts of, the ones that we're going after. We hold this area, which is belong to the Slovene culture, which is part of the same culture group, South Slavic, like us, Croats, and such. Here we go, this was formerly imperial territory. We'll reduce the imperial authority. I didn't see that option there, but anyways, these two here, which the Slovenes may be an accepted culture of Austria, but when we bring the Slovenes into the Kingdom of Croatia, they'll be accepted too. They are South Slavic brothers. Because we would want to see, hopefully before the end of this century, to start our own golden era. Which to do that, we must unify all provinces of my culture group. We have Albanians in our pocket, and now we're trying to work on the Bulgarians. Even though it's Serbian here, but this is Bulgaria. And when the Ottomans finished their war, win, lose, or draw with Muscovy, these Bulgarian lands here must return to Bulgaria until all the areas of Bulgarian culture will be in our subject, Bulgaria, and then integrate Bulgaria in, along with Albania, which is South Slavic as well, even though there aren't in actuality in real life, which I'm going to keep reminding you people till you get that to your head. But still, uniting all these lands, and we would complete this, because we have converted a few provinces, not in the mood for conversion right now, and we've embraced humanist policy, humanist ideas rather than religious. Despite the fact we're still loyal Catholics, as far as the Council of Trent is concerned. But still, when we are about to and the reason why do we have to declare war in this very month? Our new ally, France. I've noticed in their positioning, while these two armies continue their drilling as they are, I've noticed that the positioning is close to Bordeaux, which is English territory, but it's the part of France and they want it back. England is allied with Austria. Actually, that's royal marriage. Is allied with Austria. So is Castile and Portugal. Castile and Portugal have a large armies there. Even though we're slightly larger than Portugal. But Castile is bigger. But they don't have much manpower reserves. Whereas the French are very much ready for war. England, they are a small force, but they're more naval intensive. But they have the manpower reserves to back them up. So we have to accept the fact that France will not be coming. Or when we declare war on Austria, that means England will join. The French will declare war against England, keeping the English busy, and fighting Castile and Portugal. But if the French tell us to join their war, well, we'll be there too, but we're only just going to protect our nation, as we have never fired our cannons or the guns in anger against the Iberian nations. But if it is what it must, then it is such. Now, this is going to be our military doctrine here. We'll try to take the objectives as fast as we can. Once we're finished, retreat back. Draw the Austrians in, and if they want to attack our homeland, fend them off long enough before our Polish and Lithuanian friends will come in and create another front. And if the Ottomans ever finish their participation against Muscovy and the others, then the Ottomans will join us. We can call to arms to them because they trust us very, very much so. And then after the Austrian war is over, then you gotta core these provinces here. And don't forget to give Poland some land that will give them as a promise. And subsequently, start talking with the Ottomans to give those Bulgarian provinces back to Bulgaria, as we will work bit by bit using the favors, which that process may take a few decades. And then after the last province is returned to Bulgaria, then we will begin the integration of Bulgaria, if not slightly before the last few provinces. And of course, Albania too. Don't forget about Albania. But of course, Albania and Bulgaria will have little assistance from them, but that's... Now, it's time. Ukraine will be the war goal. Poland will be coming. Will receive little assistance from Bulgaria and Albania, which is our subject nations. Bohemia will not be coming, despite the fact it is the HRE Emperor. Had Bohemia intervened, we would have fought a lot of these smaller nations, which would be a bit of an issue. But the Emperor says, screw Austria, we're not going to help you because we're rivals and we're mortal enemies and all that. But as far as we're concerned, Austria has the biggest military. England will intervene, but soon the French will stop them. So, you have to be concerned with Ingolstadt as well. Which Ingolstadt has 3 provinces. So that'll be up to the Polish to deal with them. Lorraine is over there, which Lorraine has 7,000, although could possibly be more. Same for Lunch. Small army, but more could be coming here. So yes, the Polish have this many deployed, which of course in actuality, that's counting Lithuania and Moldavia. So combined, it'll be good. All that matters is the French to keep the English at bay, as well as their other front. And as for the Ottoman war against Muscovy, they are winning. If they can fend off the Muscovite troops there, and then subsequently turn them loose. Which fortunately, at Carniola is helping out the Ottomans. As I've noticed, some of their armies are up there as well. Well on their way. Not quite to Moskva yet. So we can only hope for a swift resolution of the Ottoman-Muscovite war. So the Ottomans can support us, which will be a big difference maker. But bear in mind, we have the king as the general, even though he's a master of arms, but skill-wise he's not as great as the last general, who was a master of defensive warfare, so to speak. But we can have a supply depot, which increases our supply limit modifier. That's for all friendly armies in the Croatia area. Just looking. And I mentioned the Council of Trent. So it'll probably be another decade or two before it'll be finally decided. Most of it, including Croatia, are supporting Harsh. Yet it would try to be consolatory. But whatever the council says, it's going to be irrelevant at this point because we are about to engage a very large war. In fact, possibly two simultaneously. One in the east, one in the west. And we're going to be ones to start it. So Poland will be quite a bit of a difference maker, hopefully. Too bad Genoa and Tuscany will not help us out because they've had good relations with Austria. The Ottomans are willing to be there with us if they can end their other war. Not to mention they trust us fully. So no, they don't want territory, so it's the best we could do. While we will be currying favors with France to get it up to 10, knowing that they're going to be at war with England, so it's not going to happen anytime soon in this part of the world. And bearing in mind, the Austrian Navy is rather inferior, so I don't know about us taking it on, knowing that we have not upgraded our galleys. Because we forgot to spend money on it. Even if we do right now, then the morale would go down and it would not be in action. What the heck. Yeah, that'll take months. And all we have to do is to get these ships back to port, which I've ordered them to be back here then. Just to prevent them from blockading. Then once they are set, then we're off. So the naval actions will be limited, but the English fleet could be there. Plus that's their only navy, right? From their allies, besides England. Yeah, it's only the Austrian and English navies out there. Here we go. On the move. And then when these ships are fully repaired after we just upgraded them, which we should have done it months earlier. So once we deploy light ships, they'll blockade us initially. And then once we take their port, they got nowhere to be sheltered. Unless they go all the heck way to Bordeaux, knowing the French will soon take that. So the Austrian Navy will be screwed. Once the ships are ready, and then we'll fight them at sea and defeat them. But hopefully the French ships will deal with the English ships out there. Maybe the English can blockade them and then send some to the Adriatic, and hopefully our navy will be strong enough to take on the English. But you know, a royal navy of theirs, which they have that yearly naval tradition and the heavy ship combat and such. But however, heavy ships aren't as effective in inland sea like the Mediterranean and Adriatic. This is what galleys are for. And I even thought about the possibility of getting rid of these old transport ships and free up the naval force limit to build more galleys, as we never transport our troops across until far in the future, with maybe, you know, how to deal with the Ottomans to get them out of the Balkans. And the best option would be to ally with the Mamluks. Unless we were fighting with the Mamluks, if the Ottoman tells us to fight them there. And so, away we go. Yeah, they'll blockade us initially, which is temporary. We're going to take Trieste, which they've realized they're out of their ways, or they forgot to get their admiral. descending economies. Institutions of higher learning typically restrict enrollment to adherents of the dominant faith. These forces non-conforming prospective students to seek their education outside of state-sanctioned universities. Thankfully for them, a number of informal academies have been founded in Croatia that cater to religious synods of various sorts, often promoting a particular theological position. Such academies may strictly be at odds with the law, as schools generally require the assent of local or national religious authorities, but they provide education to students who would otherwise be barred from admission. For 10 years, religious unity would be lowered. No, let them teach as they please. We'll still have enough religious unity without causing corruption. Because if it goes below 100, that's going to cause corruption. And we're not in the mood to convert anybody at the moment. It's always nice to have a little bit of innovativeness, because tradition decay, that's why. Speaking of tradition, where is it? Here. And remember, if we win this war by taking all of Carniola, that ups our army tradition even more. They better declare war with England soon, because I could tell by the army's position. For Army Royale. Well, what do you know? I didn't know Lithuanian troops were over there. They could take care of Lorraine. Or others. But since the Polish are still committed to the helping out Brandenburg, which they are winning. Verdun has been taken by Brandenburg. Cologne and Osnabrück still yet to be taken, so there's them. And where is... Oh, you should know where that is. Should be around here some... Aha! Most of them fell, but not all. Oh, Brandenburg is currently sieging this area. It's gonna take a while. Once they are defeated, then Poland will be committed. Well, not right now. So we just gotta buy time. That's all we've gotta do here for this part of the conflict. And bearing in mind that with this attrition that we have here, we are taking very, very little attrition due to the siege, the supply as we have improved foraging, and the Preparation Act as part of combining defensive and humanist ideas. It'll be ours in August, and then pull back, knowing that we'll be fighting a defensive war early on. They don't have their port anymore. Get back. We'll take Gortz a little later. Time to defend the homeland. Pull back. Numbers may look daunting, but the vast majority of the ships of the English are transports. Come on, France. Declare war against England. Ships made it here safely. We have one fleet now. And it's going to take us a couple of months. And hopefully we'll defeat the Austrian Navy before the English come. Knowing the full brunt of the English fleet will be here. And it'll cause problems in the home front. At the Donau Kraj. They don't have a port to return to. In order to hold Crane, we got to get this fort. That's going to be an issue. Bulgaria hired Free Company as they don't have an army yet. Actually, station yourself in Zagreb. They're probably still gathering. But England's got plenty of time to get there while we will try to get our ships repaired and such. But looks like they are ready to be committed. It's Polish, but it's Lithuanian company. About to have a second front. Taking this fort, it's woods, so it's a bit defendable for them. If it's not under our control yet. Move up. We originally feared a large army coming here, but nope, we have an idea of what that's going to be like. That size looks pretty intimidating. Start your damn war. I saw you mobilizing in there. Capital's just right there. I'm sure we'll pillage that in the future. They're also committed to the Brandenburg War. When they finish helping out Brandenburg and when Poland fully commits itself, we may have a chance. At least the Genoese and Tuscan ships will give us a line of sight of giving us an idea of where the English fleet might be. Until then, lure them over here. Gotta lure them into Bosnia. That's the best defensible position in the Herzegovina region. Let them come on down here, take the fort, and then we'll defeat them here. No news from French. Well, we have a new military technology, Spanish Square. Be far more ahead of time militarily. So we have more military tactics. And also this will give us musketeers, which, of course, doing that, and since we have yet to engage the enemy, and the vast majority of the forces are over there, I think we may have to switch them now. Compare that to the pike infantry. This will give us the fire ability now. Which again, that fire value is of the unit is a measure of the amount of casualties the unit will inflict in the fire phase of combat. The amount depends in part on the offensive fire value of the attacking units and defensive fire value of the defending units. Fire and shock, that's what we have. And the morale. Go for offensive. As I said, we're not engaged with the enemy right now. This will give us new uniforms, but just pull back once you take these two areas here. Could be a mistake just for doing that in the middle of a war, but we need the firepower advantage. Because we are definitely ahead of the military technology of Austria, which gives us an edge in battle. Get back. Finish. Get back. Till your morale goes up, then we'll engage again. Possibly gotta take that fort. Still drilling? I guess we should have waited. Or the French won't commit because they wanted us to join them, knowing that they're going to be doing it. Now the English will definitely come. But they are not ready. And light ships alone cannot defeat them. We have an admiral, they don't. That's another thing that's advantageous. Just let them come. No sign of any English squadrons. It's what they call their fleets, squadrons. Of course. Move. Army will recover. The morale will recover by then. Sir. Anything to do to help. Column's about to fall, and they'll peace out soon. And soon it will fall too in the coming months. And then Poland will be fully committed to dealing with the secondary front of Austria and their allies. And what the hell are the French waiting for? This is a perfect time to attack. Yeah, it does take months, so we got 5 months, so January, February, March. They'll be ready in May. By then, I think those English ships will appear, and combined with the Austrians, then we have no way in fighting them off at sea. We gotta scare them away. Yeah. Don't want them to retake Dresde, so they have nowhere to run to. That's the idea here. Plus the morale is not full, so stand by. Wait for it to recover before we bring these new muskets en masse. The Ottomans accepted peace with the foreign enemies Circassia. Circassia and Abkhazia to the Ottomans. Announce their claims. Well, it looks like they're going their way very well for our Turkish friends. So the war is now taking it to them. And they got their main objective. So hopefully it'll be over soon, and then the Ottomans will intervene and it'll make our lives easier. And better start using these favors soon. No English yet, but They just based on, you know, those French ships there. As I said, what are you doing? It's till May the fleet will be ready and then we'll take them out. And when the Ottomans intervene, it's over for them. We can catch them here. Let's begin our advance cautiously to try to take Unterkatten. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. Krakow's fallen. That's the capital, isn't it? No, that's Warsaw. You're thinking of the old medieval capital. This is the modern capital, Poland. So, Polish participation isn't going well, but this will buy us time. We're full morale. We'll have them taken out easily. Just for starters. But they still have a role to play. No English. Now they're gonna try to take Warsaw. Don't advance. One more month. And May, set full sail and start rowing. This fort is now a key objective in order to hold this objective here. The Polish are buying us time. Thanks to the Preparation Act, this small blockade isn't going to stop us, and in addition of the attrition that we're taking during this siege. This other army here of 6,000 infantry that we inherited from the integration of Serbia is the reserves. To help us out there in a big battle that's coming up, potentially. Klongen is out. Soon, Onnesbroek will be out too. So the Brandenburgian will soon end, and then Poland is ready to fully commit. I think they're fully committed now, based on its positioning. The French has not stopped drilling, so they won't fight England yet. No English ships in sight, so let's move up. Remember, they have no admiral. They have 4 galleys and 2 light ships. And 6 transports. So, based on that... Actually, you should look them up here. This is what they have, actually. So... the hull size is this. If I should look comparatively. Diplomatics 10, so the Navy's at the same equal footing. But not militarily, as we have muskets on a wide use. So the Navy should be the same. So caravels and war galleys. Cannons 13 for the light ships, and cannons 15 on the war galleys. Hull sizes 10 each. And the flotilla, those transport ships that they have 5 cannons, but slightly more hull size. We have an old admiral, 61 years of age. So he's an old one, as he's level-headed, so morale hit when losing a ship in case he were to lose one. So off you go. On 2nd of May, or 3rd of May, and they'll be there in 2 days. No English ships in sight. Hopefully we can capture a few Austrian ships to be part of our fleet. Preferably more galleys. So we shall look at this naval battle right now, as the land situation is still civilized. Again, no admiral. Against non-galleys in inland sea battles. The Navy morale is at the best, but we have slightly better because of, heck, Austrian naval tradition is almost non-existent because they've never been engaged something like this before. Until now, which we had prior experience, and the power projection, and the prestige to back that up. Although, admittedly, they have more prestige than us, because Austria, you know what they're like. But anyways, I'm slowing this down time so you can pay attention to the morale of all the ships. One's backed off. There goes 2. Even though they got a good dice roll on this phase. Taking very little hits. We're just mauling them. Here's the shock. Because that's what Vladislav Radic is known for. We did not capture any ships, but we sunk 2 of them, and they're on a run, heading to the Adriatic. Don't let them leave, unless they're going to be retreating to Bordeaux, which is the nearest friendly port. Unless Austria has anything that asks other countries to fleet basing rights, which of course they have to pay it. Good indicator. Although, to be fair, we never picked a naval doctrine. We have the money for it, so you said you want to capture ships. We'll increase those chances. Shipboarding. With established prize law and generous letters of marque, we will nurture a custom of seizing enemy ships intact, which increases the chance to capture said ships because our navy is small and we want more of it. Even though we're more of a merchant fleet of this sort of thing, so we got enough sailors, so do it. That's our naval doctrine now. Because if we feel it's about time to start taking our Croatian navy a little more seriously. Just follow them. We don't know where they're going to be retreating to. I mean, where else they're going to have to run off to? The 2 Sicilies? The Tunis? Ottomans? Anywhere? They got nowhere to go. And we can't engage them unless we get this fort down first. Sania. Don't get too cocky. Napoli. Walls breached. I could see that symbol. Cape Bon. I think they are indeed going to Bordeaux. If they're willing to retreat all the heck way over there. Barbary Coast. I'll be willing to go as far as over there before we will pull back to Albania to repair here. No need to blockade the area. Did they give, did Burgundy give them access? Has conditional military access through Burgundy, yes. And a couple of other countries. Oh, they will come there by land eventually. So that's why they're not coming here. That's nearly their entire fleet. The Royal Navy. Yeah. We're past beyond the naval range. Which, in fact, is there any way to look that up? Because I know in Imperator Rome you can. It's gotta say that somewhere. Not like that, but get the idea. Because in Imperator Rome, they have, you know, the naval range, so you know how far ships can travel. But if you go further away, you're going to start taking attrition for being out at sea for long. Maybe that's why the English refused to come here. So, guess we're just going to have to let them go. Wait one. Yeah. As much as we would love to chase them all the way, but we don't have that naval range. Let's do this. So return to here. Now let's focus on the land campaign. Oh, the great king died. That was their 3-star general. Oh, they do have another. Yeah, the English never came here. That's Red Squadron, the other fleet. Why aren't the French engaging? Can get line shut out. Good. That'll be just one down. $136 days. Curious. fleet basing rights in a sense of dealing with any attempt of the... Well, they're not there, so I think the English will come. If the entire fleet is there, we can't engage them. But in that case, return to Dubrovnik. Begin our march towards their capital. But I believe we're being overconfident ourselves. There they are. That's pretty good development you got there. How much aggressive expansion penalty would this cause? 9? I mean, I'd always wanted to pillage somebody, but I feel this would be much more suited. Knowing the Austrians will hold a grudge against us. Gee, everybody's with us. Right. As far as negotiations are concerned, no, I won't pillage it. I'm saving that for Austria. Again, you suggest that wish to be pillaged, but no, I'm not that sadist. But I'm okay with the reparations, and we'll get 41 of that amount. And some prestige too. One down, 3 to go. Not gonna be England, definitely. We just need 3 provinces, and that's that. And a bit of Poland too. Don't forget to give Poland land that you promised them. It's the Ottomans that would be of great help. But it seems we're doing well on our own. You gave them access? Now they're back to drilling. I guess our assumptions were wrong. But 10 favors and the French will join instead. I've been saving up that diplomatic power for some time. And this is the reason why. Not only improve relations, but this will also give us reduction cost of administrative technology. If I wanted this, so as a reminder. 726. Mm-hmm. 726. Now. 6. There you go. 10% reduction. Because I'm willing to do anything to get to this 4-5-deer group, which will have to be either economic or quantity, as I remind myself. And of course that means in future, whenever I get this, then it will fight better. To where? Vienna. Are they gone? They're out there. Scattered. Some are over there. Guess they're somewhere in the countryside. And no sign of the Austrian fleet returning, as they still have their 8 ships. actually should move closer in case the Austrians retaliate. France, welcome to the war. How dare you let the English be on your soil? Don't you feel that you've been had with the English for a long time? Because it's about damn time. The French are in the war. Now kick the English out of your land. That's all I wanted from them. And sooner or later, we're going to start building our trust. This is where the fun begins for them. Ah, that's what they're doing. At War of Morocco. Castile, Aragon, Castilian, Brazil, France, and Portugal. Oh, you're in 2 wars. Well then. In fact, why is... Oh, you allied Castile. What happened to... Well, this is strange politics going on in the West. So that'll keep the English at bay. That's for certain. There's the king himself over there. It's about to be fought by the French, but their combined strength fighting up in the hills and crossing that river. I don't know about you, but it might do for the time. Yeah, the French are defeated in this one, but we're going to take their capital. About to receive more assistance. Capital's fallen. One would think we would have to end that war right now and just take these 3, but no, it's still too early. Still too early. And also pillaging our capital would cause... No coalition? Well, we'll have to consider... Oh, don't forget about the Polish. And take provinces from rival. They're okay with that. I thought Poland wants something. Well, if they can occupy something, then maybe, just maybe, I will figure it out. But again, it's still too early. And Olomouc, that's the German name. It'll soon fall too, and then things will get easier for us. Because they're separated. Ingolstadt is over there. But nobody's dealt with them. So we don't need the Ottomans' help. We have France. And we gotta start having more trust with France. They might be our best possible ally in the sense of not only an ally in the West, but also in case if relations between us and the Ottomans deteriorates, then we can turn to the West. Yeah. Okay. Occupy the mountains. Nobles ally of foreign power. The nobility often prove unruly subjects of the cry. seeking to resist any infringement on their autonomy and seizing any opportunity to strengthen their position. This often includes making common cause with foreign powers. Recently, several key figures appear to have struck an agreement with Hungary to advocate a pro-Hungarian course of action in return of certain favors and promises. While not directly treasonable, this behavior is clearly detriment to our interests. However, reining them in is likely to prove no easy matter. They will pay for their treachery. Not going after Hungary. We're still in the middle of a war. I have no quarrel with him anymore. It's a thing in the past. Here's some land we might give Poland to, that they'll promise. Just control the mountains and you're in a good position to defend. Flanders. Well, we did not declare war against England directly, but the question is, will they intervene? Nothing in the Mediterranean. The French, I know they'll take losses, but there's no shortage of manpower for them. Which, in fact, where do they get it? Ah, not only it's a French tradition, but it's the quantity. That's why. The quantity ideas, that's what gives the French, and a lot of land too. That's what gives them the manpower advantage. Light casualty, and it was all cannons. That's all they had. Don't forget to get these. In fact, go get it right now. Oh, wait a minute, this is a fort. Never mind, withdrawal. Go over there. Forgot that one has a fort. Bringing another fort down would lower the war score even more for the Austrians. Here come the French. I'm gonna start. You want out? What do you suggest? No pillaging. Because that aggressive expansion impact knowing that I'll be doing this. And pillage that area. Reparations is fine. And all treaties. It costs nothing. Sure. Small prestige gain, even though we're not getting much prestige gain because we aren't winning enough battles. We were just being very cautious as often as ever. Seems you're having a bit of a hard time over there. Because I would hate for these favors to restart back to 90 as this war goes on. That's where the Austrians went. Finish them off. Oh, I forgot. But it's academic by then. Academic. Portuguese colony. Up you go. Absolutely no war exhaustion. Just for future reference. When we develop more and take this coast and then including Albania into the future, we'll be sure to invest in the Navy a little more. More galleys, especially. Lithuanian and English engaging. No, no, not that. That one. England is medium more enthusiasm. Because some of that's blockaded. Why am I thinking of this idea? So that's where they went. Where's the French fleet? Almost non-existent unless it's off in the colonies somewhere. Army morale's committed to Morocco. Because I was thinking that, you know, despite limited range, we could, in theory, land here, make repairs here, then we'll be committed to the English Channel, but I think that's far-fetched now, at this point of the war. Wait for this last fort to fall, then we'll begin negotiations. And give Poland some land, as they promised. We're promising them. Because if you didn't, then that's going to lead to trust issues. Not good. The Admiral, that of old age, his ability to keep cool even in the face of grave danger will be greatly missed. Oh, he was a damn good Admiral. But, we're not engaging any enemy navies for now. What's going on with you over there? You are winning this war, and yet you're having occupation. Constantinople's occupied by Muscovy. My goodness. What are the Turks doing? And Moskva, occupied by Ottomans as well. They're doing a bunch of damage to themselves. Now the real problem is the occupation of Bulgaria that adds more devastation, which isn't going to help the Bulgarians very, very much. But they're re-engaging them. There we go, the last fort's fallen. Occupy one last bit of area. even without French intervention, I think we would have done very well. You know, the Austrians would be more committed to this front, but it'll be a hardy fight, but we were just playing our cards right. And we did, clearly. So now, what do you say? Everything that I've negotiated? Yes, but in addition, Poland needs land. Because I promised them, even though they're not saying that right now. Really, Poland doesn't want it? French doesn't mind to take province from rival. They're okay with that. Of course, Bohemia will be saying, hey, return that land, and we're going to say no. Because I believe we have issues with Bohemia. Yes. We're just going to say no to them anyhow. Though it may cause problems in future, but still. Who's going to stop us? Because we have the Ottomans on our side, even though not right now. Anything else? Let's see what else I could do. Of course, war reparations and money. It's always with the money. Although not that much. It's excessive. Okay, just barely. So how much is that? 114 for us. And the rest of us get a fair share of this. It'll be overextended, which we'll have to spend that administrative power for this. An aggressive expansion penalty, which is another. But this is just for those 3 years we want. So Poland suddenly doesn't want land. Okay. I know Austria pays well, so reparations will be very good for us. I don't desire any of those lands, but just let me look one more time with the Ottomans at their progress to the war. Based on the looks of it, should be over soon. Well then. So let's make this official then. Even though it's all unlawful territory and Bohemia is going to tell us to return it, and we're going to say no because we're rivals with Bohemia, who is ironically our rival with Austria. I don't see how that's ironic, but still, you get the idea. But I wish I would tell them to, I don't know, release certain countries or annul treaties, or return cores, such as give those Hungarians or Bohemians some land back just to, you know, spite them, but that costs, you know, some diplomatic power. Diplomatic power that'll be needed for something else entirely. But no, we just want the money. And I know what I'm going to use that money for exactly. So if the next time we fight against the Austrians, it'll likely be the French dealing with the English. So this is how long this truce is going to last. And if for some reason that we'll attack the Austrians in anger, then so on and so forth. Wish I could humiliate them, but that's... No, that's for war score, never mind. We'll humiliate them next time. At this time, bring the French with you to deal with the English. So the terms remain the same. So it's official then. Sign. We'll get them next time. So here you have it. Krajinska, Gorica, and Tris. We got the Slovenes with us, while there's a Venetian minority, which they're not an accepted culture, so they'll be a little bit troublesome, but there's going to be no unrest here. So, core them. We've already made this area to a state, so it'll be slightly easier to manage. Be stationed in Bosnia, and then head to Slavonia. And with this newfound wealth, and thanks to war reparations, get this castle rid of. And we're going to build a new one in Kosovo, because it's Highlands territory, and strategically important economically because it's the home of the gold. That sweet Kosovo gold. But until then, but this area that we captured, this only has a church, this has a workshop, which helps with the production. And none here. And Zagreb has increased its development to 31. Or in some other areas nearby. I mean, did we pillage them or not? Because I didn't pay attention. In fact, what did the relations say? Aggressive expansion. So in the meantime, let's improve relations with the Ottomans a little further. Because of my recent overextension. Yeah, that aggressive expansion, which doesn't affect them that much. But we'll begin to improve relations just a little further. And with that, mission complete. Conquered it. Gained 30 army tradition. Pay attention. The army tradition is 32.9. Now 62.9, even though the yearly tradition would be going down fast. But we're still relatively quite fresh. Oh, it's very good. Now, regarding the Slovenes, they will be an accepted culture too. That's why we did that. So, here you have it. Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, Dalmatian, Slovene. Even though Dalmatians are Latins, but they were accepted culture from the beginning nonetheless. Coming soon, Albanian, when we bring Albania in. And then Bulgaria, when we will start negotiating with the Ottomans. This will expire in a few years' time. We could annex the vassal, but we need to improve relations. Well, naturally, start with the royal marriage. So that way we have an understanding. What was that? They moved their trading city. Here we go. They don't like us, but now we're just going to give them the finger. Emperor Bohemia demands that we return the province of Gorica in the Holy Roman Empire. Denying this because it will seriously impact our relation with the HRE. Well, all I could say is, what are you going to do about it? We have the Ottomans, we have the French, they're with us. Poland even. The Commonwealth has been formed. Of course, we'll be dealing with a little bit of separatist rebellion. Slovenian separatists, basically. Poland is no longer a great power because it's the Commonwealth now. And we will remain friends with the Commonwealth. They don't have the manpower now, but with the loss of Lithuania now it's merged in, it'll be a superpower nonetheless. Something that could stand toe-to-toe with the Ottomans, but look at them. I'm sure some of them is not just army, but some of that could be mercenaries, but we may never know. All I can say is just hurry up and end your war, then give Bulgaria back. This area here is Protestant, but this area is not Catholic. But leave him alone. Albania. Let's begin to improve relations, which we'll get there all the way. And then we'll begin annexation of Albania. And it'll be Bulgaria's turn, far in the future, when we get all this. You got it. Hey. As per usual. Split up. Oh, by the way, I forgot that Israel has a natural harbor, so we do have some degree of trade power here, so guess the more trade power to Constantinople, which would be making a profit. Or do you want the 5 ships to do that? No, we would be at a loss. Trade power is 162. Compare that to Venice and Venice itself. 2 to 24. Scratching my head. But again, we dominate the trade power. Gotcha, bug. It'll be no competition from there. Just looking. Now you need to start saving up all that tech. And do not forget the agenda that you have for Bosnia. Base production 5, which to do that you can spend it, but let's do that right now. Let's get it over with. See you next year. Galleys can only hunt in inland seas. I mean, I've seen a few privateers around here, but they belong to other countries. Like that one. So they're starting to become a real issue here. But wait, don't forget your... never mind. about time that we send him to do something. Sending it to there. And there as well, for Constantinople, which apparently gives us a bit more profit. You sure about that? And then here's your money. I mean, I'm sure getting these areas would increase the land force limit, which isn't going to be a real issue. So we have this 25 strong here. We can have a little more, which I would like to increase the size of this army, which we can make up to 10,000 strong. In fact, get the cavalry. Since we can... well, we could barely afford it. Barely. Because we sent out the fleets to do something. There. You know, I'm gonna make you do something. Go suppress that rebellion. Clergy are concerned at the continued presence of unbelievers in our nation. They demand that we root them out, starting with those living in Raska. The Orthodox. Nobility casting a jealous eye on Sir Johnson. Oh, this again? Burghers calls to increase commercial presence and reduce the trade node. You want us to increase the trade power, do you? 40 or more. Oh, joy. I mean, it's a very good reward, but... how do you get up to 40 trade power? I mean, building more marketplaces is not the answer here. It takes a lot more than just light ships. Perhaps a change of the naval doctrine would be another. For more ship trade power, that would be another thing that could help, but I doubt it'll work. But that's for Rashka itself. Gauge skill 3. 50 administrative power. To go up against Hungary, which is in no position to defend itself, even though 2 Sicilies will be there. Briganza is too small to worry about. Nothing on Hungary. They don't want to restore the Union. Kind of divided. Taking the center Transylvania area over there would go well of our way. Right, trade pound. Well, screw it, we're gonna have to convert. That's gonna cost you monthly progress of 0. Worry about that later. Losing influence from the nobility estate. Saxony declared war against Bohemia. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? You know who you're up against? too busy improving relations, the current affairs of all countries. Hurry up and end that war so we can start using it to return these Bulgarian provinces to them. They can't just be content in North Macedonia. We gotta have a whole of Bulgaria. But of course, they gotta take this back. Just looking at other things out of curiosity. If only. Have a bunch of galleys or a bunch of heavy ships. Oof. Having maintenance issues. Just a bit. Yeah. The inflation is starting to become a real issue. Especially... It'll be done soon. Come on, you got them on the ropes. End it. I'm sure you're gonna get a big chunk of land out of this. Intrigues in Zagreb. A Slovene official, Valentin Levec's rise to high office has not been easy and has angered many closest to the Christian. Dragutin Babonic, a member of one of the oldest Croatian families in the country, approached our monarch demanding they would relieve Valentin Levec's position. That's preposterous. Of course, lowered legitimacy doesn't help. They're about to retake it, further increasing their war score, and then they'll be negotiating for peace. They got it. Alright, it's over. Muscovy will cede Vorisne, Borisoglebesk, and Voyashidskaya to the Ottomans. Moscow will be pillaged by the Ottomans, of course, and give some of the cores back to Ryazan. How do you say that? Muscovy will end their overlordship over Perm. So they are nowhere near forming Russia now. Oh, goody. Commonwealth Hungarian Unification War. I will await your answer in a little bit. Just let me negotiate with the Ottomans first, but don't decline it. It's those marriage ties between them. Then again, you have the manpower, and Hungary has very little. It'll be very easy for you, but for us, well, we have to defend the country. And it doesn't help that the navy's out of the port, so Get back here. Come back, all of you. Actually, the safest port is over here. Look, I will come. Just hang on, okay? Let me talk with the Ottomans first to return these core provinces to Bulgaria. You can select all of these. Yes, sirree. And they don't cost too much favors because some of these territories aren't as well developed as others. But start with Constantine. Of course, does that mean I can't tell them to record provinces if we're at war? But who knows? We'll just work on it. We've already used up one favor. We'll build up more favors to them as time goes on. So, listen, I will accept the call to arms, but can you just wait a bit? Wait for those ships to be at port? Don't wait too long, because if you do not accept their call, that is alliance breaking. I'm just unpausing and unpausing because I'm paranoid. Sofia. That's a lot. Sofia now. Vidin will be next. And we'll continue to work the way. So yeah, the border friction, yeah, it'll be an issue. And all that. But the neighboring different religion, that opinion will go away once, you know, Vidin goes back to Bulgaria, and then we'll worry about that later. So we'll have to accept, even though you already invaded them here. And there's that fleet of 2 Sicilies there. And get an admiral. Petar Kravatsky will be his name. Not as great, but he'll do. But remember that naval doctrine that we have. So 2 Sicilies there. They have many ships and many more will come. So yeah, time to defend the homeland. But our fleet, well, get them there, and then into Dubrovnik, before the others do. And head to defensive positions. We'll deal with that potential Slovenian rebellion a little later. We are at war, so yeah, that's an issue. Hopefully be a short war, because dealing with 2 Sicilies is no picnic. one heavy ship, one galley, one transport. See if there's a possibility we can capture some. They got no admiral, but we do, but he's not as good. We sunk them all. Caravel took a bit of a hard hit there. But they got more heavy ships in their arsenal. So let Poland finish off the Hungarians, as they got them surrounded. We'll have to defend our country. Knowing they'll blockade us. Oh, that means more money to be made. As we don't have any talented advisors right now, that could be lowered for a price. Just looking. $11, $12. Whoa. We don't know what the Western Terry Tech is like compared to ours. And my issue with this is this whole... We're trying to build a Kosovo so doors open for them to go through Serbia and Montenegro. Yes. Form up. I know what they're up to. Support us. If you can. Get over here. They got a very good general. When these two forts fall, it's over for Hungary, and it'll be under a personal union of the Commonwealth. Which would make them even stronger. By looks at it. And my concern is they'll be bordered with the Ottomans, and that's why we gotta get more of these Bulgarian provinces, just to keep them away from there. Just give me a few galleys and a heavy ship or two, then we would be at their level. Oh, the Bulgarian general's better. Good to know. I forgot that Brandenburg is coming. Honestly forgot about Brandenburg. Assisting us, no doubt. Please don't go to war. I need more of these provinces. And soon begin the integration of Albania. That fort they'll keep. Because it's in the mountains. Despite being blockaded, it's not having an effect. Just let them do the work. You're barely catching up. You're slacking, Ottoman Empire, on embracing its new institution. We just discovered the Alps. We know the Alps. At least we'll get more favors out of the Commonwealth for more trust. Accommodate the performances. Hear ye, hearly, yet Lusa, Panto, Harlequin, and all the other stock characters of traditional commedia that on your unsuspecting populations watch as they are entertained by the antics and the shenanigans. A good piece of comedy can make anyone forget all that their everyday lives are wasted away under the yokes of tyrannical rulers. Plus, it's fun. For 4 years, yearly prestige. Sure. Got money to burn. At least these ships are kept busy. It'd be suicide to take them on. Because we have more light ships than there are galleys. It's a terrible balance. And they got a talented admiral with fire, which will definitely put a hurt on the navy. Not enough to make a difference, so we better start increasing that naval force limit in the future. Build structures along the coast. Oh. More of the discoveries. Braganza will soon fall. It has fallen. They're gonna be out soon. Last fort at Temis has fallen, so Hungary will soon be part of the personal union under the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. So that's where they went. Didn't have to participate in saving our manpower and money. Even though we're making a lot of money because we don't have any advisors. Even though it kind of hinders our progress for all of these. So you should be getting some. This for once. How old are you? 41? Yeah, it's a small increase, but that inflation needs to go down because it's starting to become an issue. Since we have the gold province here. Also, Castle in Kosovo is finished. Here's my... It took him a while. I thought it was cord. Here's some buildings I want to build. That naval force limit is something that's really needed. I was about to say, we already have one in Dubrovnik? No, it's all used up. You gotta develop it more. Which I'm sure I will one day. But for now... Rijeka, Istra, and Split. Have more shipyards, and then we'll start investing more in the Navy, because that's become a priority now. Where did our admiral go? Should we? Rest are not visible, so don't engage. You may never know who's out there. They're mobilizing again. There you go. Let's risk it. Because they're heading that way. It's a transport fleet anyhow. Monopoly company formed. The realm often grants trading companies the exclusive rights to traffic goods in a region in exchange for a lump sum payment, continuing revenues from the traders. We have just managed to negotiate one such agreement with a group of Croatian entrepreneurs that promise to deliver us a lucrative windfall. Wow. For 10 years, 50 diplomatic power, which would be good to, you know, get this in future. Or still be far behind. But still. Or just get the money, knowing that I would be spending more on, you know, any structures that would help Croatia out. I would say the income is fine. Because we know, make a long-term investment. Just do that. Meanwhile, just engaging them now. They're far away from here. Even though they got the big guns. But we have an admiral. We didn't lose a ship. That was an Albanian that lost a ship. Yeah, the Albanians aren't here anymore. They withdrew. This is why we're going to invest in the Navy in the future. Ruthless blockader. That's what our admirals become. We'll end this episode as soon as this war is over. Guess they're not going to attack us. Oh god. It's France. Allied Croatian rival to Sicily's allied to French rival Commonwealth. We were doing so good together. Fact. Trust is one thing, but if this is going to be the end of our alliance, well then, it's understandable. Because we couldn't find a ground to settle, and you fear the Commonwealth, whereas we view them as our best friend. Enemy invasion imminent. There they are. Well then, now we know where to deploy. They're coming over here. Stand guard. Excuse me for a bit. When are they arriving? Never had that notification before. Please trust us. Love to have it with you. You've got to have an understanding. Fire away, they just invaded Albania. With no general. Idiots. Annihilated them. Well, what do you say now? They have lost their army. Oh well. It could have worked out, but since the alliance France is broken, but I'm sure one day we'll work together again. No need for that anymore. Still have our royal marriage. Austria, yeah, sure. Damn it! You took too long, and now the Ottomans at war. We can't get Bulgaria sooner. But in the meantime, as soon as it's over, okay? Tired of waiting. Take Naples. Then get him out of the war, then it'll end. State House now. That can be upgraded to that if need be. In fact, I believe that's a separate building. Is it not? walls breached. Once take capital, then war should be over, but the Ottoman war for this territory against Mamluks! Oh, have you realized what you have done? You've gotten yourself into a long war. Oh, don't you worry, we'll bring Albania soon. There we go. Now we can end that episode on that note. That was 16 favors. Still got plenty of time. But, you know, that's it for that time because the video gone too long on this one. So we hope you enjoyed this episode and try to get a little more peacetime. We'll begin the integration of Albania, and then the Ottomans are going to be in for quite a long war, and hopefully they don't drag us into it. And I hope this hasn't dragged you on as well. So we hope to see you in the next episode, but until then, so long for now.